Okay, the PVC for the irrigation system is all fully installed and pressure tested. I'm going to walk you through what I did. Hopefully this is focused this time. And this is the main line from the city that comes in, and it tees off here to the irrigation part. This is the irrigation line. That's a backflow preventer, and it's separate so that if you take a vacation you can turn your main off and you can still water your plants. So this is a 3/4 inch copper line that's coming down, and what I did is I put in a four-way slip connection here, and I basically am taking two uncontrolled water sources. One of them is that 3/4 line is coming along here and going into the backyard. What I did here was I used the old 1.25" cheap Schedule 80 crappy stuff that the builder uses, and I used that as a sleeve so I didn't have to trench, because that line goes underneath that wall there. So that was real easy. I just had to push it right through there. So that's one line that's uncontrolled. Here's the other one. That one's full pressure, by the way. That's whatever 80 psi. This one here, I reduced the pressure with a Rainbird 30 psi pressure regulator. And what I did is I ran a line here that's going across the front yard, front of the house, and comes along this side of the house, and it terminates over here. The reason I did that was because I'm going to probably put a security gate across this entryway here so that the cats can come out and enjoy the outdoors a little bit. And I wanted to be able to potentially have a water feature on the inside the foyer entryway somewhere. So now I've got a water source. So I'll go back and then show you the rest of the system that is on a controller, and it's pretty cool. Came out really nice. I'm real happy with it. Took a while. Took me over 50 hours to do this job. So we're back to the irrigation control valve. It's a Rainbird, and that's a Rainbird 30 psi pressure regulator. You can see here I put a union here, so if I ever have a problem with either one of these, I can simply, I don't have to do any gluing. I could just undo the union and replace either one of those. So this line here goes from a 3/4 inch, it gets reduced down to a 1/2 inch, comes along here, and this is where the watering system begins. That's going to be on a timer. And I want to show you kind of what I did here. I did something a little bit unique. I haven't seen anybody do this. The landscapers don't do this, but I've got these slip thread tees here. That's a female. And I put these little arms in that go into a male hose thread, a GHT thread. And Rainbird makes this little cap that has a 1/4 inch outlet for a spaghetti line that I put a bubbler on. So this is how I'm doing it. And it's nice because if anything goes wrong here, I can either replace this whole arm or just unscrew that and replace that line. I don't have to do any gluing or anything. It's super easy. I did it for maintenance purposes. So you can see I've got arms going across to different plants. There's a fire stick there. That's a new one. These are all Texas sage. Those are all new too. That's why they're so small. And you can see I've got arms coming across here. There's another fire stick over here. And the other thing I did is one other thing that's a little unusual that you won't find. I put a 1/4 turn bar ball valve for each of my Palo Verdes. I have 3 Palo Verdes. There's this one in the center of the yard. There's that one on the west side. And then I've got one here on the east side behind the saguaro. And basically, those are indigenous trees and they don't need very much water. So because I'm only using one circuit, these little plants here will get watered once a week or maybe twice a week. But I don't want the trees to get watered once a week or twice a week. So these will be in the off position 95% of the time. I'll probably water them, once or twice in the summertime, and that's it. So there's a ball valve there that controls the watering system to the Palo Verdes. What I did with the Palo Verdes is I went into a spaghetti line, and then I put 4 heads. They're 2 gallon, 2 GPS heads, 2 gallon per hour heads under each of these. So there's 4 of them for each tree. So, okay, I'm going to come around the front of the house here, and I put in extra, you can see here, I put in extra slip females because I'm probably going to put some plants along here. I don't know if I'm going to do cactus or I'm going to do something that needs water, but if I do something that needs water, I can just tap right into those females. They're all capped off and ready to go. But the other thing I did too was I came across here, went through this drain channel across the sidewalk, and I ran a water line over here in case I need water over here. I'm potentially going to put a couple planters here, like one here and one there, that stick up with maybe some landscape lighting that comes down, and so that when the Amazon guy comes, he can put the boxes behind something. Once that security gate goes up, the boxes will be left out in the open. So that'll probably happen. I'm going to leverage these trenches too for all the landscape lighting that I just installed. I've got all the lights installed. All the holes are dug for each of the lamps. And I'm going to start putting that system in when I'm done with this video. And I'm going to use the trenches, most of these trenches that I ran with the water lines, I'm going to leverage for the landscape lighting. So you can see here, we've got another quarter-turn ball valve for this Palo Verde. And then this comes along here, along the front of the property, along the sidewalk. I put a whole bunch of female teas on here. I kind of got a little excited. This is where I started the project, and I put them in all over the place. There's no way I'm going to plant that many plants here. I kind of like the indigenous thing that doesn't hardly use any water. So those might not get used, but who cares? Then it comes across here, and it goes underneath the driveway through that 2-inch PVC sleeve. That's also where the irrigation electrical line comes in, and the landscaping line. Those all cross the driveway here. And I've got another 1/2-inch ball valve here, and I've got a water line running to that, just this tree over here, this yucca. These yuccas here, I'm not running any water to at all because they don't need water. And so that's basically the system, and it's all going good. So I'm real happy with it, and it's going to be pretty bitchin', and I'm about ready to cover everything up as soon as I get the irrigation lines put in. I don't know if you can see all the little lights I put, but I put lights on most of my cool cactuses. I've got them on the prickly pears. I got a couple here on the it's hard to see, but the jumping cholla. You can see I've got one on the hedgehog here. All the yuccas are going to have them. There's another prickly pear over there. Those are going to have them. These chollas here are each going to have them, and then that little farm of jumping chollas, the big ones each are going to have one. The saguaros are going to have 2. You can see there's 2 lights there for the saguaro. Those are also larger lights, so they're going to provide they're going to have a little bit more illumination. And then the Joshua trees, each one of the Joshua trees is getting one as well. So yeah, it's all good. It's all good. And then since I'm talking about the landscape lighting, just kind of show you how that's going to work too. I'm having a driveway extension put in that's going to follow right along here. It's going to follow this line 2 feet in, then it's going to go across up until the gate there. It's going to be pretty big, but you'll be able to park a car over here. But the landscape lighting line is going to come here, and it's going to come across along the property line. I don't know if you can see can you see that yellow line? Yeah, there it is. It's going to go all the way along that yellow line there, over there to the wall. It'll be a foot over, then it's going to come here, and I'm going to go underground across. I'm going to mount the transformer right here under the electric box. So that's how the landscape lighting will be controlled. And yeah, so it's all good. It's all good in the hood, baby.